This is Adam Sandoval, and you're watching Wicked Customs Garage.
Hey guys, welcome back to Wicked Customs Garage, and today I'm going to give you an update on the 1982 Ironhead. So what I've done today was I took off the 10.5 inch baby apes, and I put these old bars that I had lying around from my 96 Softail. These are what originally came off of Wicked Violet. They just work a little bit better because with the 10.5 inch apes, these wires do not fit. Now the cables, the clutch cable and the throttle cables, work well with it, and same with the brake line, which you see my brake line's just a little too big, so I'm going to have to route that some other way. But I'll have to take off my front fender to do that so I don't drip any brake fluid down. And what I'm thinking about doing is actually routing this. I'll probably take off the top banjo bolt and then run it through here. And then, I don't know, somewhere. And then loop it on up and through. But, yeah, what I done today was I got her off the lift and I tried starting it. And we have a little bit of an issue. So, I had the carb dialed in. And it would start. And I started it twice in a row. 2 days apart, and it'd fire up just fine. Well, with the primary being apart and me trying to change my clutch cable to the longer one that's on it now, it's been sitting for a while. You can't exactly start it because that would burn out your transmission. So even with this, this is a Super E Shorty SNS carb, as you can see. Well, I guess you can't. Well, I guess you can. I set it to the specs. I set it back to the specs where it should fire up every time, and it still doesn't want to fire up. And I know that I've pulled this carburetor just from the bowl down and pulling the jets out. I've cleaned every part of it. I've rebuilt the accelerator pump. I have done everything I can to this carburetor. So I'm not thinking it's actually a carburetor issue, but instead, I think it's this fuel filter. Now, this is it's a pretty big fuel filter. I mean, it's about the size of 2 fingers put together. And then double that in just the width. So, I'm going to try to get a cheaper one. One that's see-through. It's got to be plastic, see-through, inline filter. I'll probably get it from J&P Cycles. And then I'm going to get the bleeders too. So, I think that's pretty self-explanatory, but I might make a video on that as well. I'm super excited to finally get to ride this bike. After I get the front bleeders, then I'll definitely bleed out all the brakes. And right now, it is pushing fluid out currently. So, that's great. I'm glad to see that. But she's coming along pretty well, and guys, she's so close to riding. I can taste the bugs right now, man. Definitely excited for this. I can't wait. It's going to be a blast, and I can't wait to share that with you guys. Mind you, this bike has not been on the road in 14 years. 14 years this thing has not been out on the road. So I think it's going to be a blast to be able to take this thing out and just ride it around, riding around like a lake or something like that. That would be, beautiful scenery. Being able to actually enjoy this piece of history. People look at Ironheads as cheap projects that always break down. But really, if you think about it, with an Ironhead, you're not just riding just an old bike. Yeah, you got to maintain it very often. You got to do different things, and you got, it vibrates super hard, so, you have a couple bolts come loose and whatnot. But it's just the nostalgia of being able to ride something that was built back in the 80s. This is 2023 at the current time of me videotaping this. and riding something that was made back in 1982, that's awesome, you know? It gives you that vintage feel. It has the vintage feel, and it just makes you feel like you're back in the 80s again, and that's what I'm going for with this bike. And I love it, you know. I want to get some. I got a bunch of stuff in my cart that I'm wanting to get for this thing. Currently, money's a little tight, so I have to get the bare necessities so I can get this running around. Now, whenever I start to get it to, you know, pull underneath its own power, I mean, it's gonna be a little ride in my driveway, just going back and forth. Especially with just having only rear brakes, which I got those flushed out. That was one of the first things I done with this, was flushing the rear brakes, because that's the only brakes that this thing ever had, ever since I've owned it. That's why I like to show you guys the process of, you know, how to change the bleeders and get them unstuck and whatnot, so you guys don't get stuck like I did. Luckily, I've already had some experience with some stuck bleeders, so I was able to get that out, no problem. Like I said, I wish that I recorded it so I could show you guys, because I like helping you guys out. This is my journey of bringing this thing back to life, and I like sharing that with you guys. And whenever you guys comment, especially you, Bender, you know who you are, you're always commenting. I love that, man. So keep commenting, man. I love it. It keeps me going, man. It keeps me wanting to even give small updates like this. I mean, that's not much, but man, I tell you what, this thing is just, it's awesome. It's killer. Oh yeah, another thing is I only had one old screw for my timing cover plate. So I got another screw. I bought 2 new ones. These were 15 cents each. And it definitely makes it look just a little bit nicer. This timing cover plate came off of my 96 Softail whenever I first bought it. And I changed it back to the original chrome one because that's my chromed out bike. This one, I mean, yeah, it's got some chrome on it, but it's mainly just polished aluminum. And I like that about this bike. You know, it's old. It's old school. I'm keeping that patina in it, but, you know, I'm still bringing it back to life. You know, it's a cool story. You know, it's sat for, 14 years, or it's sat for 13 years, and I got it running whenever I got it. I had it running. I mean, I still can get it to run. I'm just having a bit of a fuel problem. So after I get that done, then this bike should just run on its own power constantly, and that is going to be so wicked. And I cannot wait to share that with you guys. But I love the support. I love the views, the comments, and to my 28 subscribers, thank you guys very much. I hope you guys really like these videos, and definitely keep it wicked.